Hello there, and welcome to Science for Sleeping. Tonight, we will drift gently into the world of our planet, exploring its secrets, rhythms, and wonders. Over the next hours, we will travel across continents and oceans, through deserts and forests, beneath glaciers and deep into the oceans, all the while discovering 101 unusual facts about the Earth. But this will not be a simple list of facts. Instead, we will move slowly, letting each detail unfold like a quiet story, allowing your mind to wander, relax, and drift toward sleep. High above the Earth, in the quiet expanse of the upper atmosphere, where the sky deepens to a soft indigo, the planet spins silently, endlessly through the vast emptiness of space. Dawn stretches slowly across the horizon, brushing the clouds with pale gold, turning the oceans into mirrors of light that shimmer with the reflection of a waking sun. From this vantage, the continents unfold like slowly turning pages of a book, each one rich with landscapes, life, and motion, all connected through unseen rhythms of wind, water, and the subtle pulse of the planet itself. Clouds drift in patterns both delicate and immense, shaped by invisible currents and temperatures, merging and separating as though guided by some patient hand. Each droplet, suspended in the air, holds a story: the ocean it rose from, the winds that carried it, the forests or mountains it will touch. Dust from distant deserts mingles with pollen and spores, creating a microscopic bridge between ecosystems thousands of kilometers apart. Imagine one tiny grain of Saharan sand, lifted by the wind, carried across the Atlantic, finally settling in the Amazon basin. There, it nourishes soil, feeds microorganisms, and supports the roots of trees that have stood for centuries. Every element of air, water, and dust participates in a silent choreography, a delicate balance that links the smallest particle to the vast dynamics of the planet. Beneath the drifting clouds, the oceans extend in endless undulations, immense and deep, hiding worlds within their depths. Surface waves reflect the changing sky, sparkling and shifting, while beneath, currents carry warmth and nutrients across thousands of kilometers. The Gulf Stream moves tropical heat toward northern latitudes, shaping climate and weather in subtle but essential ways. Below the sunlit surface, the twilight zone begins, a dimly lit expanse where bioluminescent creatures pulse with faint light. Squid and jellyfish drift, their movements slow and deliberate, while fish rise and sink in silent, hypnotic rhythms. Hydrothermal vents, hidden along the ocean floor, spew mineral-rich water that nourishes entire communities of life. These ecosystems thrive without sunlight, relying entirely on chemical energy, a quiet reminder that life persists in forms and places beyond ordinary perception. Beneath the quiet expanse of the oceans, the layers of water unfold in subtle gradients of light, temperature, and pressure. Near the surface, sunlight penetrates, allowing photosynthetic organisms to flourish. Tiny plankton drift lazily, converting the energy of the sun into a foundation of life, forming the invisible threads that sustain the vast web of oceanic creatures. These tiny microorganisms, delicate and almost imperceptible, are the architects of the sea's rhythms, providing nourishment for countless species of fish, jellyfish, and larger predators. In these same waters, whales glide gracefully, their immense bodies moving with deliberate elegance, breaking the surface only to release a soft spout of mist that vanishes into the wind. Their calls echo through kilometers of water, communicating across the deep, a gentle symphony of the ocean itself. Deeper still, in the mesopelagic zone where sunlight barely penetrates, life adapts to dim light and immense pressure. Bioluminescent fish and invertebrates emit faint, mesmerizing glows, each flash a signal, a lure, or a warning. Squid drift with slow, hypnotic movements, their tentacles floating in the currents as if suspended in a dream. Even in this darkness, life pulses with quiet purpose, a reminder that energy and adaptation take many forms. Hydrothermal vents erupt with hot, mineral-rich water, forming chimneys that stretch from the ocean floor like alien towers. Tube worms, clams, and specialized bacteria thrive here, harnessing chemical energy from the Earth's interior to sustain entire ecosystems that would be impossible elsewhere. These vents, isolated and extreme, demonstrate the resilience and ingenuity of life on Earth, its ability to find niches even in the most unforgiving environments. The rhythm of the oceans is mirrored on land, where rivers carve landscapes with patience that spans millennia. A river begins as a small trickle of melting snow, water seeping from the highlands into narrow valleys. It slides over rocks, carrying sediment, creating miniature eddies and whirlpools, its surface glinting in the sunlight. As the river grows, tributaries join, expanding the flow into broad channels that nourish forests, wetlands, and plains. Along the banks, roots intertwine with soil, stabilizing the earth and providing shelter for insects, amphibians, and mammals. Floodplains, seasonally submerged, store water, deposit nutrient-rich silt, and host a quiet explosion of life each year. Rivers are patient sculptors, shaping the land while sustaining ecosystems, a movement so gradual that it is imperceptible in a single lifetime, yet relentless across centuries. Forests, dense and multi-layered, rise like living fortresses. In tropical regions, canopies stretch upward, leaves interlacing to create a green ceiling that filters sunlight into dappled patterns on the forest floor. Epiphytes cling to branches, collecting moisture and nutrients, forming tiny habitats for frogs, insects, and birds. Roots dive deep, entwined with mycelium networks that exchange chemical signals and nutrients, connecting trees across vast distances in a hidden web of communication. Each layer, from the forest floor to the highest canopy, pulses with life. Insects pollinate flowers, birds hunt or nest, and mammals move silently, their footsteps cushioned by layers of fallen leaves. In temperate forests, the rhythm changes with the seasons. Leaves fall in autumn, decay into nutrient-rich humus, and feed the next cycle of life. Boreal forests endure long winters under blankets of snow, hiding streams of activity beneath frozen layers. Small mammals forage under the ice, insects persist in dormancy, and trees await the warmth of spring to awaken. Every forest, whether dense or sparse, tropical or boreal, is an intricate symphony of life, breathing in sync with the planet itself. Mountains rise from the land like frozen waves of stone, shaped over millions of years by tectonic collisions, erosion, and glacial sculpting. Snowfields shimmer in the first light. Glaciers creep imperceptibly downward, carving valleys and feeding rivers. Animals adapted to these harsh environments move with grace. Snow leopards glide across rocky ridges, alpine birds call softly to one another, and pikas gather grasses, storing them beneath rocks for winter survival. Plants bloom briefly on exposed ledges, their colors striking against stone and ice, while mosses cling to surfaces, enduring frost and wind for decades. Mountains are archives of time, recording ancient collisions of continents, glacial advances, and climatic shifts. They are both immovable and alive, shaping water, weather, and the very air that moves across their peaks. Deserts, in contrast, teach the quiet persistence of life through scarcity. Shifting dunes, sculpted by wind, record centuries of subtle environmental change. Beneath the sand, microorganisms form crusts, stabilizing surfaces and influencing water flow. Seeds lie dormant, waiting for rare rains, while plants like welwitschia absorb moisture from fog, surviving centuries with minimal resources. Animals navigate this austere landscape with precision. Fennec foxes dissipate heat through large ears, kangaroo rats extract water entirely from seeds, and nocturnal creatures emerge when the sun has retreated. Even in apparent silence, life pulses beneath the surface, a patient rhythm that endures in the harshest conditions. As the night descends over the oceans, the planet's hidden currents continue their patient work, moving vast quantities of water, heat, and nutrients around the globe. The Antarctic circumpolar current flows relentlessly, carrying cold water from the Southern Ocean northward, merging with other currents to regulate climate far beyond its icy home. Along its path, microscopic phytoplankton bloom in delicate pulses, visible only from space, feeding krill that sustain entire ecosystems of whales, penguins, and seabirds. These tiny organisms, nearly invisible to the naked eye, wield immense influence over the global carbon cycle, absorbing sunlight and transforming it into chemical energy, quietly balancing the planet's atmosphere. Each day, trillions of microscopic beings perform this slow miracle, connecting the health of the oceans to the life of continents and the air we breathe. Beneath the waves, deep-sea trenches stretch like chasms in a hidden world. The Mariana Trench, the deepest point on Earth, plunges nearly 11 kilometers beneath the surface, a silent abyss where light never penetrates. Pressure here is immense, yet life persists in forms adapted to the extremes. Strange fish with translucent bodies, amphipods thriving on detritus from above, and microbial communities converting minerals into energy. The ocean floor itself shifts imperceptibly as tectonic plates move, mountains rise and subside, and earthquakes ripple through the abyss. Even in this inaccessible place, the rhythms of the planet continue, linking deep-sea ecosystems to the surface through subtle currents and nutrient cycles. Moving inland, grasslands stretch like oceans of green and gold. Savannas in Africa host migrations of wildebeests, zebras, and antelopes, traveling hundreds of kilometers in search of water and fresh grass. Lions, cheetahs, and hyenas follow these movements, balancing predator and prey in a dynamic equilibrium. Each hoofbeat, each rustle of leaves, each roar or call is part of a living rhythm that has persisted for millennia. Across the Americas, prairies bloom and fade with the seasons, fires occasionally sweeping through to renew the soil, allowing new growth and sustaining insects, birds, and mammals. Grasslands may seem simple, but their complexity and resilience are profound, supporting interwoven communities of plants and animals adapted to cycles of drought, rain, and fire. Forests again call attention to the diversity of life. Tropical rainforests conceal layers of activity unseen from above. Ants cultivate fungi, birds pollinate flowers, snakes move silently among branches, and monkeys leap across canopies. Seasonal floods submerge portions of the forest, depositing nutrients and shaping the landscape. In temperate deciduous forests, leaves change color and fall, creating carpets of organic material that feed the soil, supporting the next generation of plants. Boreal forests, dominated by conifers, extend across northern continents, resilient against extreme cold, their thick needles protecting branches from snow, while the forest floor holds small mammals, insects, and fungi, quietly performing cycles of life and decomposition beneath the snow. Mountains, silent and eternal, continue to rise, fall, and reshape the landscape. In the Himalayas, tectonic pressure pushes the peaks higher each year, a process imperceptible to human lifetimes but monumental over millennia. Glaciers slowly carve valleys, leaving behind moraines and lakes. Alpine meadows bloom briefly in summer, sustaining pollinators and herbivores before winter returns. The Andes, Rockies, and Alps exhibit similar processes, each mountain range a slow-motion story of collision, erosion, and renewal. Even dormant volcanoes remind us of the Earth's inner heat, shaping soil, creating islands, and sustaining life with minerals drawn from deep within the crust. In deserts, too, they continue their quiet existence, sculpted by wind and heat. Sand dunes shift imperceptibly, creating patterns that change with every storm. The Atacama Desert, one of the driest places on Earth, hosts life adapted to extreme scarcity. Lichens cling to rocks, cacti store water for months, and insects survive entirely on dew. Nocturnal activity in deserts is a delicate ballet. Small mammals emerge to forage. Reptiles hunt under the cover of darkness, and predators move silently, ensuring balance in a fragile ecosystem. Even where life seems nearly absent, the desert demonstrates resilience and patience, a testament to the persistence of life under harsh conditions. In all these ecosystems, life moves in rhythms both slow and rapid, visible and invisible. Microorganisms recycle nutrients. Insects pollinate. Mammals hunt, and plants grow. Rivers carve, winds sculpt, glaciers grind, and tectonic plates shift. Day and night, seasons change, tides rise and fall, and the earth breathes with a pulse that encompasses the tiniest cell and the tallest mountain, the shallowest stream and the deepest ocean trench. Each movement, no matter how small, contributes to a planet-wide symphony of life, energy, and matter, connecting all things in ways we often cannot perceive. Beneath the surface of continents, hidden worlds unfold in vast networks of caves and underground rivers. Stalactites hang like frozen chandeliers from ceilings, formed drip by drip over millennia, each mineral-laden drop leaving a delicate trace of time. Stalagmites rise slowly from the floor, reaching toward their suspended counterparts in a silent, patient growth. Deep within these caves, water carves hidden channels, moving unseen through rock, shaping chambers in a process so slow it almost defies perception. Insects, blind fish, and specially adapted amphibians inhabit these subterranean realms, their senses tuned to darkness, vibrations, and the faintest trickle of air or water. Microbes thrive in isolated pools, forming entire ecosystems dependent on chemical energy from minerals rather than sunlight, illustrating life's astonishing capacity to adapt. Far above, glaciers flow with quiet determination. Ice rivers slowly creep down mountains, carrying embedded rocks and sediment that scrape valleys and carve fjords. Crevices open and close with a slow rhythm, revealing blue ice that has persisted for tens of thousands of years. Within glaciers, air bubbles, trapped in layers of ice, preserve tiny snapshots of ancient atmospheres, each one a memory of a time long past. Polar bears traverse sea ice, their movements synchronized with the rise and fall of ice sheets. Penguins huddle in colonies, exchanging warmth and watching the subtle signals of changing weather. In these frozen landscapes, survival is a delicate balance, reliant on the interplay of ice, snow, wind, and sun. The poles themselves hold extreme beauty and stark contrast. In the Arctic, tundra stretches in quiet resilience, mosses, lichens, and low shrubs absorbing what little warmth the summer provides. Caribou migrate across vast distances, following patterns set over thousands of years, while Arctic foxes track them with stealth and patience. Winter descends with an almost absolute silence, snow covering the land and insulating creatures beneath in their burrows. The Antarctic continent, in contrast, is dominated by ice sheets that contain the majority of the planet's fresh water. Subglacial lakes remain liquid beneath kilometers of ice, hosting microbial life that has endured isolation for millions of years. These hidden pockets remind us that life can persist against unimaginable odds, adapting to the extremes of temperature, pressure, and darkness. Volcanoes, both dormant and active, reveal the dynamic heartbeat of the Earth's interior. Magma rises through cracks in the crust, forming mountains, islands, and fertile plains. Lava flows sculpt the land, cooling into rock that will slowly be worn down by wind, water, and life. Ash clouds rising into the sky during eruptions influence climate, scattering sunlight, and sometimes cooling entire regions for months. Despite their destructive potential, volcanoes enrich soil with minerals, creating habitats that support dense forests, fields of wildflowers, and thriving human communities. Underground, geothermal energy heats water, feeding hot springs and hydrothermal ecosystems where unusual organisms flourish. The planet's inner heat, constantly in motion, connects the deepest layers of the Earth to its surface, shaping landscapes and life in ways both visible and hidden. Even the smallest organisms reflect the vast complexity of Earth. Soil teems with bacteria, fungi, and invertebrates, all participating in the breakdown of organic matter and the cycling of nutrients. Each grain of soil contains a universe of life, influencing plant growth, filtering water, and sustaining above-ground ecosystems. Leaf litter, decaying wood, and fallen seeds provide sustenance for these tiny creatures, whose activity ultimately supports the food chains that reach birds, mammals, and humans. Microorganisms in extreme environments, hot springs, acidic rivers, permafrost, and deep caves demonstrate the adaptability of life, surviving in conditions that would seem inhospitable to larger organisms. These hidden workers are the quiet foundation upon which the planet's vitality depends, invisible yet indispensable. As the night stretches over continents, the cycles of Earth continue uninterrupted. Winds sculpt dunes, stir the canopies of forests, and carry seeds across great distances. Rivers flow toward the seas, glaciers inch downward, and tidal forces pull at the edges of continents. Mountains cast long shadows over valleys, shaping weather and habitats. Even in apparent stillness, the planet breathes, pulses, and moves, linking every molecule of water, every cell of life, every grain of soil in a network of connection that spans the globe. Each ecosystem, each geological feature, each organism participates in this dance, a continuous interplay of forces that has persisted long before humans arrived and will endure long after. Rivers continue their patient journey across continents, starting as small streams trickling down mountains, gathering momentum as tributaries merge, carrying the story of rain, snow, and melted glaciers. Each river is unique, shaped by the rocks it passes, the forests it nourishes, and the animals that depend on it. In the Amazon basin, the river swells with seasonal rains, flooding forests and creating an intricate network of channels, islands, and wetlands. Fish migrate upstream to spawn, while aquatic mammals navigate hidden paths, their movements choreographed by currents and seasonal changes. Floodwaters deposit nutrient-rich silt across the floodplain, rejuvenating soils and supporting lush vegetation that, in turn, feeds countless species of insects, birds, and mammals. Deltas form where rivers meet the sea, spreading sediments across wide triangular plains that teem with life. Mangroves anchor themselves in the shifting mud, their roots creating shelter for juvenile fish, crustaceans, and mollusks. Birds perch in their branches, hunting for small fish or resting during long migrations. The interplay of salt and fresh water creates a delicate balance, supporting unique plants that can survive changing tides. These delta ecosystems are living mosaics, where each species contributes to a complex, interdependent web. Even the smallest snail, burrowing into mud, plays a role in nutrient cycling, influencing the health of the entire system. Lakes, both vast and modest, provide tranquil habitats that reflect the sky like mirrors. The Great Lakes of North America hold volumes of water that influence weather and human life across entire regions, while smaller mountain lakes capture seasonal snowmelt and support isolated communities of fish and amphibians. In each lake, light penetrates to varying depths, nurturing microscopic plants that feed tiny animals, which in turn sustain larger fish, birds, and mammals. The surfaces of lakes ripple with wind, forming gentle waves, while beneath, currents circulate nutrients and oxygen, creating layers that vary in temperature, chemistry, and life. Over centuries, lakes slowly shift and evolve, sediments accumulating to record the history of the land and the climate, a quiet archive of time. Wetlands and marshes, though often overlooked, are vital to planetary health. They act as natural sponges, absorbing excess water during floods, filtering pollutants, and providing breeding grounds for fish, birds, and amphibians. Reeds sway in the wind, their roots stabilizing soil while hosting insects and small mammals. Frogs and salamanders call in the dusk, their choruses echoing across the water, synchronized with the rhythms of night. Insects hum, dragonflies skim the surface, and migrating birds stop to feed and rest, relying on the productivity of these lush habitats. Even in winter, when water freezes or recedes, life continues beneath the surface, waiting patiently for the return of warmth. Tropical forests, dense and multi-layered, pulse with continuous life. Canopies stretch skyward, interlacing to form a living roof that filters sunlight into gentle patterns on the forest floor. Epiphytes cling to branches, collecting moisture and nutrients, creating microhabitats for frogs, insects, and birds. Monkeys swing between trees, their movements precise and energetic, while jaguars patrol silently below, balancing predator and prey. Seasonal floods enrich the soil, feeding plant growth, while decomposing leaves return nutrients to the earth. Every branch, leaf, and root participates in a network of communication, exchanging chemical signals and nutrients, a hidden conversation that sustains the forest's complex ecosystem. Temperate forests, meanwhile, undergo a quieter rhythm. Trees shed their leaves in autumn, creating carpets of rich, decaying organic matter that nourish soil and support fungi, insects, and small mammals. Seasonal changes dictate life cycles. Seeds germinate with spring rains, flowers bloom, insects hatch, and animals time their breeding to maximize survival. Even under snow, beneath the apparent stillness, life persists. Rodents tunnel beneath icy layers, insects lie dormant, and plants await the warmth of spring. In these forests, time is cyclical, measured not in hours, but in the gentle unfolding of seasons, a slow and deliberate rhythm that connects every living thing. Grasslands, expansive and undulating, exhibit yet another facet of Earth's living tapestry. Savannas support migrations of herbivores that follow rains and the growth of fresh grass, their hooves shaping the land and dispersing seeds. Predators follow these herds, balancing populations in an intricate dance. Prairies, stretching across continents, respond to seasonal fires, droughts, and floods, their flora adapted to renewal and survival under fluctuating conditions. Each blade of grass, each insect, and each bird contributes to a continuum of life, forming resilient communities that endure despite the challenges of climate, predators, and human influence. Even the smallest organisms play profound roles in these systems. Soil bacteria decompose organic matter, fungi form networks that nourish trees, and insects pollinate flowers. Aquatic microorganisms recycle nutrients in rivers and lakes, sustaining fish and amphibians, which feed birds and mammals. Life connects across scales, from the microscopic to the macroscopic, linking forests to rivers, mountains to oceans, deserts to grasslands. These connections, often invisible, create a symphony of interdependence that binds the planet into a coherent whole. Deserts stretch across the earth like vast seas of sand and stone, their forms sculpted by wind, heat, and occasional rain. Each dune, though seemingly still, shifts imperceptibly with the breeze, creating ever-changing patterns on the landscape. Beneath the surface, a hidden world thrives. Insects, spiders, and small mammals emerge under the cover of night, avoiding the scorching heat of the day. Seeds lie dormant, waiting for the rare rainfall that will awaken life from its patient slumber. Some plants, like the resilient cacti, store water in thick tissues, absorbing moisture from dew or fog, surviving years with minimal liquid. In these austere environments, life teaches the quiet virtue of persistence and adaptation, demonstrating that even scarcity can harbor abundance. Tundras, in contrast, stretch across high latitudes with vast expanses of low vegetation, mosses, and lichens. Summer brings a brief explosion of color. Flowers bloom, insects emerge, and migratory birds arrive to breed and feed. Beneath the permafrost, microbial life continues its slow work, decomposing organic material and releasing nutrients that will sustain the next season's growth. Animals adapt to extreme cold and seasonal scarcity. Caribou migrate across hundreds of kilometers. Arctic foxes hunt with patience and precision, and polar bears traverse frozen seas, their movements synchronized with the ebb and flow of ice. In these harsh landscapes, survival depends on subtlety, endurance, and the delicate timing of life cycles. High mountains rise as monumental testaments to geological forces. Peaks covered in snow and ice pierce the sky, while glaciers creep downward, carving valleys and depositing rocks that record millions of years of tectonic activity. Alpine meadows bloom briefly in summer, sustaining pollinators and herbivores, their colors vivid against the stark whiteness of ice and stone. Birds soar along ridges, riding thermal currents with effortless grace, while mammals move silently across rocky slopes, attuned to every crevice and ledge. Even the soil on these highlands hosts intricate microbial networks, recycling nutrients and supporting plants in conditions that seem inhospitable. Mountains are living archives of time, linking deep earth processes to the rhythms of life that cling to their surfaces. Glaciers, the frozen rivers of mountains and polar regions, move with astonishing slowness, carrying embedded rocks, sediment, and even traces of life within their ice. Crevices open and close, revealing deep blue layers that have persisted for millennia. Beneath the ice, subglacial lakes host microbial communities that have evolved in isolation for millions of years, demonstrating life's ability to persist even under extreme pressure and darkness. As glaciers melt and flow, they nourish rivers, shape valleys, and influence global sea levels, a quiet testament to the interconnectedness of Earth's systems. Volcanoes, both ancient and active, remind us of the Earth's molten heart. Magma rises through the crust, forming mountains, islands, and fertile plains. Lava flows sculpt the land, cooling into rock that will slowly be worn down by wind, water, and life. Eruptions send ash clouds high into the sky, affecting climate patterns and distributing nutrients across continents. The mineral-rich soils around volcanoes support dense vegetation, from tropical forests to alpine meadows, while underground geothermal systems feed hot springs and unique ecosystems. Microbes living in extreme heat around volcanic vents thrive on chemical energy, forming the basis of life that does not rely on sunlight. These hidden organisms reveal the astonishing adaptability of life and the planet's continuous energy flow. Even in extreme environments, life thrives in unexpected ways. In deserts, lichens colonize rocks, capturing moisture and creating microhabitats. In tundras, tiny flowering plants complete their life cycles in a matter of weeks. In high mountains, insects emerge during the brief summer, pollinating alpine flowers and supporting birds that migrate seasonally. In volcanic regions, extremophiles survive in acidic soils and superheated water, converting minerals into energy and forming entire microecosystems invisible to the casual observer. Every microbe, every insect, every seed contributes to the planet's intricate network, linking the smallest scales of life to the vast cycles of continents, oceans, and atmosphere. As night falls, the rhythms of the planet continue quietly. Winds sweep across deserts and tundras, carrying sand, seeds, and scents across vast distances. Rivers flow toward the sea, nourishing forests, wetlands, and grasslands. Glaciers inch downward, feeding streams and rivers with meltwater. Volcanoes, dormant or active, slowly reshape landscapes, influencing life and climate over centuries. Even in apparent stillness, Earth breathes, moves, and sustains life across every scale. From microscopic organisms beneath rocks and ice to the tallest peaks and deepest oceans, every component is linked in a continuous, delicate dance. Life, matter, and energy intertwine in rhythms that have persisted for billions of years, invisible yet palpable to those who pause to observe. Oceans, vast and infinite, move in patterns that span thousands of kilometers, carrying heat, nutrients, and life across the globe. Currents like the Gulf Stream, Kuroshio, and Antarctic Circumpolar Current act as arteries of the planet, connecting distant regions, moderating climates, and shaping ecosystems. Water flows with patience, twisting and turning, merging with colder or warmer streams, creating subtle eddies and whirlpools that influence plankton blooms and fish migrations. Beneath the waves, light diminishes gradually, creating layers that host distinct communities. In the sunlit upper layers, plankton thrive, converting sunlight into energy that sustains entire marine food webs. Tiny copepods drift among them, eaten by small fish, which are in turn consumed by larger predators, forming an invisible web of life that connects the tiniest organism to the largest whales. Coral reefs, vibrant and intricate, rise from shallow waters as living cities of calcium carbonate. Polyps, delicate yet resilient, build vast structures over centuries, each layer representing countless generations. These reefs host an astonishing diversity of life. Fish of every color and pattern weave through the coral branches, sea turtles glide silently overhead, and invertebrates crawl, hide, or hunt among the crevices. Corals engage in subtle symbiosis with algae, sharing nutrients and energy in a continuous mutual exchange. Reef ecosystems respond to tides, currents, and seasonal changes, growing, eroding, and regenerating in a rhythm as ancient as the oceans themselves. Night brings further activity. Nocturnal species emerge, hunting, feeding, and reproducing, their movements creating a quiet, mesmerizing dance beneath the waves. Atolls, circular islands formed from coral reefs atop submerged volcanoes, rise like floating rings in tropical seas. Their lagoons host calm waters rich with nutrients, attracting fish, crustaceans, and birds. The reefs protect these fragile islands from waves and storms, while the islands themselves collect sand, driftwood, and organic matter, forming delicate habitats. Mangroves and seagrasses thrive in these protected waters, filtering sediments, providing shelter, and sustaining marine life. Atolls are both fragile and resilient, shaped by the balance of water, wind, and life over millennia. They are reminders of the delicate interplay between geology and biology, where every coral polyp and tidal current contributes to the survival of an entire ecosystem. The ocean floor, though less visible, is equally rich in life. Mid-ocean ridges, trenches, and seamounts host species adapted to darkness and pressure. Hydrothermal vents release mineral-rich water, sustaining communities of bacteria, tube worms, and clams that rely entirely on chemical energy rather than sunlight. Deep-sea fish navigate with specialized eyes, bioluminescent lures, and slow, deliberate movements. Even in the abyss, life pulses with quiet purpose, demonstrating resilience, adaptation, and the continuity of existence across the vast scales of the planet. Floating across the seas, microscopic plankton continues its endless work, forming the basis of marine food chains and influencing global climate. Diatoms, coccolithophores, and dinoflagellates absorb sunlight and carbon dioxide, creating oxygen and supporting life from krill to whales. Seasonal blooms of plankton dictate the movement of fish, the timing of migrations, and the breeding cycles of seabirds. Tiny though they are, these organisms connect every oceanic system, linking polar seas to tropical reefs, deep trenches to coastal lagoons, and influencing life at scales both microscopic and planetary. Seabirds, flying above the waves, rely on ocean currents and fish migrations, tracing invisible paths that have guided generations. Albatrosses glide for thousands of kilometers without flapping, their wings reading the winds and the waves. Puffins dive into the water with precise accuracy, catching small fish to feed their young. The interplay of air, water, and life creates rhythms that are ancient, natural, and almost imperceptible, yet essential to the functioning of the entire biosphere. Even in these remote and immense marine environments, life is a tapestry of interdependence. Coral reefs shelter small fish that feed larger predators. Plankton sustains whales that fertilize the ocean with nutrients. Birds disperse seeds and influence coastal ecosystems. Microbes recycle nutrients at every level, sustaining life both seen and unseen. The oceans are not separate from the land. They influence climate, weather, and the distribution of species, linking every ecosystem in a delicate balance that has endured for billions of years. The great rivers of the world carry the pulse of the continents, shaping landscapes, nourishing ecosystems, and connecting distant regions through their winding courses. The Amazon, immense and teeming, flows with a power that is both gentle and relentless. seasonal rains swell its waters, flooding vast forests and creating channels that seem like veins running through a living body. Fish, amphibians, and aquatic mammals follow ancient rhythms, migrating, breeding, and feeding in synchrony with the rise and fall of water. Birds trace its meanders, hunting for fish or resting during long migrations, while insects hatch in seasonal pulses, forming swarms that sustain countless other creatures. The river is a living artery, carrying nutrients, life, and history, with each drop reflecting millennia of environmental change. The Congo River, deep and winding, flows through dense tropical forests, its dark waters carrying silt and life across the continent. Hippos move through the river, their movements shaping riverbeds and influencing plant growth. Fish navigate the currents, while crocodiles lie in wait, ancient predators that have existed in similar forms for millions of years. Along its banks, human settlements live in rhythm with the river, fishing, cultivating, and celebrating festivals that mirror the seasonal changes of the waters. This river, like the Amazon, is not simply water, it is life itself, shaping every organism that touches it, both seen and unseen. Lakes, too, hold mysteries and marvels. Lake Baikal, the deepest freshwater lake in the world, cradles species found nowhere else on Earth. Its clear waters extend more than a kilometer down, allowing sunlight to penetrate into hidden depths where unique fish and invertebrates dwell. Seasonal ice covers the surface, thickening in winter and thawing in spring, creating cycles that dictate the life of the lake. Sediments at the bottom preserve records of climate, volcanic eruptions, and the slow accumulation of organic material over millions of years. Lake Victoria, vast and shallow, teems with biodiversity, including hundreds of cichlid species that have evolved in isolation, adapting to changing environments, predation, and competition. Lakes are archives, ecosystems, and laboratories, offering a window into evolution, climate, and the interconnectedness of life. Mysterious wetlands and mangrove forests line coasts, bridging land and sea. Mangroves extend their roots into brackish waters, stabilizing soil, filtering nutrients, and sheltering countless juvenile fish, crabs, and mollusks. Birds perch, hunt, and nest among branches, while insects, spiders, and small mammals move invisibly through the dense foliage. Seasonal tides, storms, and freshwater influxes shape these landscapes, creating habitats that shift and renew with time. In tropical regions, wetlands act as natural reservoirs, mitigating floods, storing carbon, and supporting life in ways both obvious and hidden. Even seemingly inhospitable swamps teem with activity. Frogs croak, insects hum, and microbes break down detritus in a continuous cycle of transformation. Peatlands in marshes, often overlooked, play a quiet but vital role. Layers of accumulated plant material form over centuries, locking carbon away from the atmosphere and regulating climate. Birds migrate across continents to feed and rest. Amphibians breed in hidden pools, and insects complete intricate life cycles that ripple through the ecosystem. Water levels fluctuate, influencing plant growth and animal behavior, while soils remain alive with fungi, bacteria, and small invertebrates. These subtle processes, often invisible to human eyes, sustain biodiversity, regulate hydrology, and connect landscapes in ways that are essential yet easy to overlook. Even in the smallest creeks, ponds, and temporary pools, life flourishes with precision and patience. Microorganisms recycle nutrients, tiny fish hatch and grow, and insects emerge and reproduce in delicate synchrony. Seeds lie dormant until water or warmth awakens them, creating seasonal explosions of growth. Life exists at every scale, from the microscopic to the macroscopic, forming interwoven networks that link the tiniest pond to the vast rivers, lakes, wetlands, and oceans. Each ecosystem, regardless of size, contributes to the global web, demonstrating that survival, adaptation, and resilience are universal truths on Earth. As night falls, the rhythms of these waterways continue quietly. Currents stir beneath the surface, fish glide silently in search of food, and insects dance above the water, completing cycles that have persisted for millennia. Even in apparent stillness, rivers, lakes, and wetlands pulse with energy, connecting continents, sustaining forests and grasslands, and influencing the climate across regions. Life here, whether visible or hidden, participates in a planetary rhythm, a subtle, continuous movement that links water, soil, plants, animals, and humans in an unbroken chain of interdependence. High mountains, with their rugged slopes and snow-capped peaks, host ecosystems that are both fragile and resilient. Alpine meadows bloom briefly during summer, displaying bursts of color from tiny flowers adapted to extreme conditions. Insects emerge to pollinate these plants, their movements precise and deliberate, ensuring the continuation of life in a narrow window of opportunity. Birds such as snowfinches and alpine choughs navigate the thin air with ease, their calls echoing across ridges and valleys. Mammals, from mountain goats to elusive snow leopards, traverse rocky slopes with extraordinary balance and patience, their survival dependent on the timing of snowmelt, the availability of food, and the rhythm of the seasons. Even mosses and lichens cling to stones and soil, extracting moisture from the air, enduring freezing nights, and contributing to the slow buildup of soil that will sustain future life. Glaciers, immense rivers of ice, are dynamic ecosystems in themselves. As they creep down mountains, they carry sediment, rocks, and even traces of life, shaping valleys and influencing the flow of rivers. Beneath the ice, subglacial lakes host microorganisms that have evolved in isolation for millions of years, surviving in darkness, cold, and high pressure. These extremophiles reveal the remarkable adaptability of life, forming the foundation of entire microecosystems invisible to the human eye. Cacti and succulents store water, their spines reducing evaporation and providing shelter for insects and small mammals. Nocturnal animals emerge at night. Foxes, rodents, and reptiles navigate the sand, hunting, feeding, and reproducing in carefully timed cycles. Plants respond to rare rainfall, blooming suddenly and producing seeds that will lie dormant for months or years until the next rain awakens them. Microbes thrive beneath the surface, breaking down organic matter and forming symbiotic relationships with desert plants, sustaining life in environments that appear inhospitable. Even the shifting sands and occasional storms play a role, redistributing seeds, shaping dunes, and influencing patterns of life across the desert landscape. Tropical rainforests, dense and layered, pulse with continuous life. The canopy filters sunlight, creating patterns of shadow and light that move slowly across the forest floor. Epiphytes cling to branches, capturing moisture and nutrients, providing microhabitats for frogs, insects, and birds. Monkeys swing gracefully between trees, while jaguars move silently below, balancing predator and prey in a continuous cycle. Seasonal floods rejuvenate the soil, nourish plants, and influence the timing of flowering and fruiting. Even fungi and microorganisms play vital roles, decomposing organic material and cycling nutrients back into the ecosystem. The rainforest is a living symphony, each organism contributing its rhythm to a complex interconnected whole. Beneath the forest floor, life continues unseen. Insects, worms, and small mammals tunnel through soil, facilitating decomposition and nutrient cycling. Fungi form vast underground networks, connecting tree roots and allowing the transfer of nutrients and chemical signals between plants. Microbial communities interact with every layer of soil, influencing plant growth, water retention, and the broader ecosystem. Even fallen leaves decomposing slowly sustain life and enrich the earth. This hidden world is a mirror of the surface, where life continues in quiet, intricate patterns that are often invisible but essential. In deserts, tundras, mountains, glaciers, and forests alike, life exhibits remarkable adaptability. Plants and animals synchronize their life cycles with environmental rhythms, responding to temperature, light, water, and seasonal changes. Microorganisms, invisible to the naked eye, underpin every ecosystem, breaking down organic matter, recycling nutrients, and facilitating the growth of larger organisms. From the smallest moss to the largest predator, every being participates in the delicate balance of existence. Time here is measured not in hours or days, but in cycles of growth, reproduction, survival, and renewal, unfolding patiently across centuries, millennia, and even millions of years. As night falls across these landscapes, the rhythms of life continue quietly. Winds stir leaves, insects hum, and nocturnal creatures emerge to hunt, feed, and reproduce. Rivers flow, glaciers inch forward, and the planet continues its cycles of movement, energy, and transformation. Even in darkness and apparent stillness, life pulses with subtle energy, connecting mountains to valleys, forests to rivers, deserts to glaciers. The Earth, in its complexity and resilience, continues to breathe, sustain, and transform, a living, interconnected whole that extends from the smallest microorganism to the tallest mountain, from the shallowest pond to the deepest ocean. Beneath the waves, the ocean's depths unfold in darkness, vast and mysterious, hosting ecosystems that are largely hidden from human eyes. Light diminishes gradually, creating layers where life adapts to the scarcity of energy. In the sunlit epipelagic zone, plankton drifts like microscopic clouds, converting sunlight into energy, sustaining fish, jellyfish, and larger predators. Tiny copepods, invisible yet abundant, form the foundation of a complex food web that connects microscopic organisms to whales and seabirds. As we descend, sunlight fades, giving way to the mesopelagic, or twilight zone, where bioluminescence becomes a language. Tiny lights flicker on the bodies of fish and invertebrates, signaling, attracting, or camouflaging them in a world of shadows. The deep ocean, or bathypelagic zone, is a realm of extremes. Pressures increase, temperatures drop, and food becomes scarce. Yet life thrives in unexpected forms. Deep-sea fish possess adaptations that allow them to survive with minimal energy, hunting with light-sensitive eyes or producing their own bioluminescence. Hydrothermal vents release mineral-rich fluids, sustaining unique communities of tube worms, clams, and extremophile bacteria. These organisms convert chemicals from the Earth's interior into energy, forming ecosystems that exist independently of sunlight, a striking example of life's resilience and adaptability. In these isolated habitats, evolution operates in remarkable ways, producing species found nowhere else on the planet. Coral reefs, vibrant cities of the ocean, rise from shallow waters in intricate formations. Colonies of polyps build calcium carbonate skeletons over centuries, layer by layer, creating structures that shelter countless species. Fish of every size and color weave through the branches, hunting, hiding, or reproducing in synchronized cycles. Sea turtles glide overhead, feeding on algae or jellyfish, while crustaceans and mollusks navigate the nooks and crannies below. The reef itself is alive, responding to tides, waves, and currents. Night brings further activity. Nocturnal species emerge, hunting, feeding, and reproducing, their movements forming a silent, mesmerizing ballet beneath the waves. Atolls, ring-shaped islands formed atop submerged volcanoes, rise from tropical seas, their lagoons calm and nutrient-rich. Mangroves extend their roots into brackish water, stabilizing soil, sheltering juvenile fish, and filtering sediments. Birds perch, hunt, and nest among the branches, while insects and small mammals move through dense foliage. These ecosystems, both fragile and resilient, are shaped by the interplay of water, wind, and life over millennia. Even seemingly simple organisms, such as plankton, play crucial roles, supporting food chains that extend across entire oceanic regions. The ocean floor, although largely unseen, is a landscape of ridges, trenches, and seamounts, each hosting specialized communities. In deep trenches, life survives under immense pressure and near-freezing temperatures. Bacteria and archaea metabolize minerals, forming the base of food webs that sustain worms, crustaceans, and fish. Mid-ocean ridges, where tectonic plates diverge, release heat and chemicals, supporting hydrothermal communities that flourish without sunlight. Even sediments and detritus falling from the surface contribute to nutrient cycling, feeding life forms that crawl, burrow, and filter the ocean floor, creating intricate and interconnected ecosystems. From microscopic plankton to the largest whales, every organism in the ocean contributes to a planetary rhythm. Plankton blooms influence fish migrations, which in turn affect seabird and predator behavior. Whales redistribute nutrients through their movements, fertilizing phytoplankton and sustaining ecosystems far below. Even microorganisms, invisible to the naked eye, underpin entire food webs, ensuring the continuity of life across vast distances and depths. The oceans, though immense and often incomprehensible, are linked to every ecosystem on land, influencing climate, weather, and the cycles of rivers, lakes, and wetlands. As night falls across the seas, life continues its quiet rhythms. Currents move unseen beneath the surface, fish glide silently in search of food, and bioluminescent organisms flicker like stars in the darkness. Even in deep, dark waters, life pulses with energy, demonstrating resilience, adaptability, and the continuity of existence. The ocean is both a mystery and a mirror of the Earth's broader cycles, connecting continents, climates, and ecosystems in a delicate balance that has persisted for billions of years. Every drop, every creature, and every current is part of an unbroken chain, a subtle, continuous movement that links the microscopic to the macroscopic, the visible to the invisible, and the present to the deep history of our planet. The Earth's climate flows in invisible patterns, shaping landscapes, ecosystems, and the lives of all organisms. Winds, moving across continents and oceans, carry heat, moisture, and seeds, influencing rainfall, plant growth, and the migrations of animals. The trade winds, consistent and gentle, sweep across tropical regions, guiding ocean currents and stabilizing weather patterns. In contrast, powerful jet streams race at high altitudes, steering storms and cold fronts across continents, their paths invisible yet decisive, altering landscapes and life cycles with subtle precision. Storms, from gentle showers to raging tempests, are both destructive and regenerative. Raindrops nourish forests, replenish rivers, and fill lakes, while wind and lightning shape trees, spread seeds, and trigger natural cycles of renewal. Cyclones, hurricanes, and typhoons gather energy from warm seas, spinning with incredible force, their winds and rain sculpting coastlines, redistributing nutrients, and influencing global climate patterns. While destructive in the short term, these storms carry the seeds of new life, stirring oceans, mixing layers of water, and distributing nutrients that sustain phytoplankton, the foundation of marine food webs. Deserts are defined not only by heat and sand, but also by the scarcity and rhythm of precipitation. Occasional storms bring sudden life. Flowers bloom, seeds germinate, and ephemeral ponds support insects, amphibians, and birds. Even wind carries nutrients across vast distances. Dust from the Sahara fertilizing soils in South America, connecting continents through airborne particles. These delicate interactions illustrate the planet's subtle interdependence, where even distant events influence life in unexpected ways. Tropical climates, warm and moist, support dense forests teeming with life. Seasonal rains regulate flowering, fruiting, and breeding cycles. Lightning strikes and heavy rainfalls shape the landscape, creating small clearings that allow sunlight to reach the forest floor, triggering waves of growth. Rivers swell with rain, flooding lowlands and nourishing wetlands. The interplay between rain, sunlight, and temperature orchestrates life in these forests, dictating when plants bloom, when insects hatch, and when animals breed. A quiet symphony of biological timing tuned to the rhythms of climate. Temperate climates, with their moderate variations in temperature and precipitation, host ecosystems that respond to cyclical changes. Deciduous forests shed leaves in autumn, allowing sunlight to reach the ground and decompose organic matter into rich soil. Seasonal floods replenish nutrients in rivers, while snow insulates soils and seeds during winter, preserving life for spring. Grasslands expand or contract depending on rainfall, fires, and grazing patterns, demonstrating the subtle feedback loops that sustain biodiversity. Each ecosystem here is a balance of extremes and moderation, responding to changes both subtle and dramatic with resilience and adaptability. Polar climates, extreme in cold and light, shape life in unique ways. In the Arctic and Antarctic, ice sheets expand and retreat, dictating the movements of animals, the timing of breeding, and the cycles of migration. Seasonal changes in sunlight influence the growth of phytoplankton, which in turn sustain entire food chains, from krill to seals to polar bears. Even microorganisms beneath the ice continue their slow processes, metabolizing nutrients, recycling matter, and forming the base of life in a seemingly inhospitable world. These extreme climates remind us that life adapts to rhythm and constraint, finding niches in conditions that might seem impossible. Every climatic zone is interconnected, influencing and responding to others. Winds carry heat from the tropics to the poles. Oceans redistribute energy through currents, and storms link distant regions through cycles of pressure and precipitation. Human and animal migrations, plant growth, and ecosystem dynamics all respond to these forces, whether directly or subtly. The Earth's climate is a continuous flowing system, invisible yet tangible in its effects, orchestrating the rhythms of life on every continent, in every ocean, and across every ecosystem. Even in the stillness of night, these patterns persist. Winds continue to move across deserts, oceans, and mountains. Rivers swell or recede with rainfall. Ice slowly forms or melts in polar regions. Life responds quietly to these shifts. Plants grow, animals move, and microorganisms metabolize nutrients. The Earth's climate, though vast and powerful, is a guiding force, a subtle conductor of the intricate symphony of life that spans the planet. Each drop of rain, each gust of wind, and each shifting current participates in this rhythm, linking continents, oceans, forests, deserts, mountains, and rivers into a cohesive, living whole. Across continents and oceans, life moves in rhythm with the seasons. Migratory animals, from the smallest insects to the largest mammals, follow invisible calendars dictated by climate, food availability, and reproductive cycles. Monarch butterflies embark on journeys spanning thousands of kilometers, navigating with precision across forests, fields, and mountains, guided by sunlight, magnetic fields, and instinct. Along the way, they stop at resting sites, refueling and sheltering in clusters that shimmer like living tapestries against the wind. Birds in astonishing numbers traverse hemispheres annually. Arctic terns fly from pole to pole, experiencing 2 summers each year, tracing routes that span the entire planet. Flocks of geese, storks, and swallows follow ancient flyways, timing their migrations to coincide with the emergence of insects, the flowering of plants, and the availability of fresh water. Their flights are not chaotic, but intricately synchronized, each individual responding to environmental cues, the movements of companions, and the subtle shifts in weather. Predators, aware of these patterns, adjust their hunting strategies, forming another layer of interconnectedness in these seasonal cycles. Mammals also migrate, often in large herds, traversing plains, mountains, and rivers. Wildebeest in the Serengeti follow rains and fresh grass, moving in vast columns across savannas, while caribou cross tundras in search of lichens and safe calving grounds. These migrations are arduous, requiring energy, coordination, and awareness of predators, water, and climate. Along their routes, they influence vegetation patterns, redistribute nutrients through their waste, and shape the landscape with their movements, leaving traces that persist long after they have passed. Even in smaller creatures, seasonal rhythms are evident. Insects emerge in synchrony with flowering plants, their lifespans brief but precisely timed to pollinate and reproduce. Cicadas remain underground for years, waiting for the perfect season to emerge, sing, and complete their life cycle. Ants, bees, and wasps adjust their activities based on temperature and humidity, creating complex colonies that respond collectively to environmental cues. Life at this scale is a subtle ballet, each individual acting as part of a larger rhythm, linking daily activity to seasonal, annual, and even decadal patterns. Reproductive behaviors in the animal kingdom are also governed by these cycles. Amphibians congregate at ponds and streams during spring rains, their calls filling the air with a chorus of life. Fish migrate to spawning grounds, negotiating rivers and currents to ensure the continuation of species. Mammals time births to coincide with abundant food, ensuring that offspring have the best chance of survival. Birds select nesting sites, often returning to the same locations each year, guided by memory, environmental cues, and inherited instincts. Even microscopic organisms follow seasonal cycles, their populations rising and falling with temperature, moisture, and nutrient availability. Predation, symbiosis, and competition follow these rhythms. Predators adjust hunting strategies to seasonal prey availability, while herbivores move to follow food sources, creating a dynamic balance across ecosystems. Symbiotic relationships, such as those between flowering plants and pollinators, or between fish and coral reefs, are timed with remarkable precision, ensuring mutual survival. Life, from the smallest microorganism to the largest whale, is interconnected through these seasonal cycles, forming a continuous, living pattern that spans time and space. Human activity, too, intersects with these natural rhythms. Agriculture follows seasonal patterns, guided by temperature, rainfall, and sunlight. Fishing and hunting align with breeding seasons and migrations. Even urban wildlife adjusts, with birds, mammals, and insects responding to changing light, temperature, and human presence. The Earth's biological rhythms are resilient, yet sensitive, shaped by millennia of evolution, and now subtly influenced by human activity. As night falls, migratory routes become quiet yet persistent. Owls hunt in forests, bats navigate with echolocation, and insects continue their nocturnal activity. Even in darkness, the planet hums with life. Rivers flow, winds shift, and ecosystems respond to environmental cues with subtle, precise timing. Migration, reproduction, feeding, and growth all continue in a rhythm that has persisted for millennia, invisible yet palpable to those who pause to observe. Every movement, every interaction, every seasonal adjustment contributes to the ongoing story of life on Earth, a continuous, interconnected dance spanning continents, oceans, mountains, forests, and deserts. In forests and tundras, predators move with quiet precision, each action deliberate, shaped by evolution and environment. Wolves, coordinated in packs, stalk through dense trees or across open plains, reading tracks, scents, and subtle shifts in the wind. Their hunts are calculated, teaching younger members the rhythm of patience, timing, and endurance. Each chase is an intricate interaction of energy and strategy, where prey and predator engage in a continuous, silent dialogue. Big cats, from the jaguar in the Amazon to the snow leopard in the Himalayas, blend into their surroundings with astonishing stealth. Muscles coiled, senses alert, they wait for the precise moment to strike, balancing energy expenditure with opportunity. Their nocturnal activity often coincides with the habits of prey, showing remarkable adaptation to environmental rhythms. Even in the darkness, movement is measured, calculated, and purposeful. In polar regions, life is dictated by extremes of light, cold, and ice. Polar bears traverse frozen expanses, following the movements of seals beneath the ice. Their hunting requires both strength and patience, wading near breathing holes or breaking through snow and ice to capture unsuspecting prey. Arctic foxes follow lemming populations, adjusting territories and foraging strategies to the cyclical rise and fall of prey abundance. The balance between predator and prey in these frozen landscapes is delicate. Survival depends on timing, knowledge, and endurance. Marine predators, too, demonstrate extraordinary adaptations. Orcas hunt in coordinated pods, encircling fish or isolating seals on ice floes. Great white sharks patrol coastal waters, sensing vibrations and electrical signals, exploiting the behavior of prey with unmatched precision. Even smaller predators, such as cuttlefish or mantis shrimp, use camouflage, speed, and complex strategies to capture their meals. These behaviors illustrate life's ability to adapt to every available niche, maintaining balance across ecosystems. Night in every ecosystem brings activity that daytime conceals. Owls patrol forests silently, their feathers soft and nearly soundless, while rodents scurry, foraging under the cover of darkness. Insects emerge, feeding, mating, and pollinating, completing life cycles invisible to most observers. Nocturnal mammals move with heightened senses, relying on smell, hearing, and touch to navigate, hunt, or evade predators. Life continues, unseen but precise, responding to the cycles of light, temperature, and opportunity that define each habitat. Even the smallest predators influence ecosystems. Spiders weave webs that capture flying insects, their silent construction a marvel of design and instinct. Predatory beetles hunt on the forest floor, regulating populations of other invertebrates. Birds of prey, from tiny hawks to massive eagles, adjust hunting strategies to the movements of prey and environmental conditions. Each predator, large or small, plays a role in maintaining ecological balance, ensuring that no single species dominates and that biodiversity persists. Adaptations are not limited to hunting. Camouflage, mimicry, specialized senses, and social strategies allow predators to survive in diverse environments. Snow leopards blend into rocky terrain. Owls see in near darkness. sharks detect electrical fields, and wolves communicate with subtle body language and vocalizations. These adaptations are the result of millions of years of evolution, each fine-tuned to environmental pressures, prey behavior, and the cycles of life. As night deepens, the quiet rhythms of predation and survival continue. Rivers flow, winds shift, and temperatures drop, yet predators and prey alike move in patterns shaped by instinct, experience, and environmental cues. Life, at every scale, participates in an intricate dance of energy, adaptation, and survival, a delicate balance that has persisted for eons. Each interaction, whether a chase, a hunt, or a simple search for food, contributes to the ongoing story of life on Earth, an unbroken rhythm of existence that spans continents, oceans, forests, and ice. Beneath the visible world, life thrives in forms too small for the eye to see, yet essential to every ecosystem. Bacteria, ancient and diverse, perform countless unseen tasks. They decompose organic matter, recycle nutrients, and form symbiotic relationships with plants, animals, and humans. In forest soils, bacteria break down fallen leaves, transforming them into fertile humus that nourishes new growth. In oceans, cyanobacteria convert sunlight into energy, forming the base of marine food webs and producing oxygen that sustains life above and below water. Viruses, often considered merely agents of disease, are also vital participants in ecological balance. They influence population dynamics of microorganisms, controlling abundance and diversity. In oceans, viruses infect bacteria and phytoplankton, triggering the release of nutrients that feed other organisms. On land, viral interactions with plants and animals drive evolution, shaping resistance, adaptation, and survival. Though invisible and often feared, viruses are integral threads in the fabric of life, quietly orchestrating balance at microscopic scales. Fungi, from towering mushrooms to invisible mycelial networks, connect ecosystems in subtle ways. Mycelium spreads through soil and decaying matter, linking plant roots, transferring nutrients, and facilitating communication between species. Fungi decompose complex organic material, recycling carbon, nitrogen, and other elements that sustain forests, grasslands, and wetlands. In symbiosis with plants, they enhance nutrient uptake, resilience to stress, and overall health of ecosystems. Even in urban areas, fungi colonize walls, soil, and decaying wood, continuing their ancient work of decomposition and renewal. Microbial life extends into extreme environments. In hot springs, thermophilic bacteria thrive in boiling water, converting minerals into energy. In Antarctic ice, psychrophilic microorganisms survive sub-zero temperatures, metabolizing nutrients slowly but persistently. In deep ocean vents, chemosynthetic bacteria extract energy from minerals, forming the foundation of complex vent ecosystems. These extremophiles demonstrate life's ability to adapt to conditions once thought uninhabitable, expanding our understanding of resilience, persistence, and interconnectedness. Every organism, no matter how small, participates in global cycles. Nitrogen-fixing bacteria convert atmospheric nitrogen into forms usable by plants. Decomposers release carbon and nutrients back into soils and waters. Microbes influence climate by producing gases that interact with the atmosphere. Even microscopic interactions ripple outward, affecting food webs, vegetation, and animal populations. Life at this scale is both invisible and omnipresent, quietly sustaining the visible world above. Within human bodies, microbial life orchestrates similarly complex systems. The gut microbiome digests food, synthesizes essential compounds, and regulates immune responses. Skin, oral, and respiratory microbiomes interact with the environment, influencing health and adaptation. Though unseen, these microbial communities demonstrate that life functions as an interconnected system across all scales, linking microscopic processes to the survival of larger organisms and entire ecosystems. Nightfall does not pause this hidden world. Microbes continue their metabolism, fungi expand their mycelium, and viruses propagate. Soil, water, and air teem with activity beyond our perception, cycling nutrients, shaping life, and maintaining balance. Each microscopic interaction, whether decomposition, symbiosis, or replication, is part of a rhythm that sustains the entire planet. Life, from the tiniest cell to the tallest tree, from the smallest insect to the largest whale, participates in an unbroken continuum, a silent symphony of adaptation, persistence, and renewal. Beneath the surface of the Earth, minerals and rocks tell stories that span billions of years. Granite, formed from slowly cooled magma deep within the crust, carries traces of the planet's fiery beginnings. Basalt, dense and dark, emerges from volcanic flows, cooling rapidly to create new land, extending coastlines and shaping islands. Sandstone, limestone, and shale record ancient environments, deserts that once flourished, seas that once covered continents, and swamps that nurtured early life. Each layer of rock is a page in the Earth's memory, preserving chemical signatures, fossils, and evidence of climatic shifts. Vast tectonic forces move these layers continuously, albeit slowly. Mountains rise from the collision of continental plates, folding rock strata into ridges and valleys. Earthquakes shake the crust, releasing energy stored over millennia, shifting landscapes in moments that are both violent and transformative. Subduction zones swallow oceanic plate, recycling them into the mantle, while rift valleys create new land, rivers, and lakes. The Earth's surface is never still. It breathes, folds, cracks, and reforms, a living testament to the slow but relentless forces of geology. Volcanoes, fiery gateways to the planet's interior, shape landscapes in dramatic ways. Magma rises from the mantle, breaking through crustal weaknesses, releasing lava, gases, and ash. Effusive eruptions produce broad flows of lava, slowly reshaping terrain, creating new mountains, islands, and plains. Explosive eruptions send ash high into the atmosphere, influencing climate and scattering minerals across continents. Even dormant volcanoes retain heat and energy, their presence influencing local ecosystems, soil fertility, and river courses. Life often flourishes on volcanic soils, rich in minerals and nutrients, supporting diverse plant and animal communities. Lava flowing like molten rivers is both destructive and creative. As it cools, it forms rock with varying textures and compositions, creating basaltic plains, pumice deposits, and obsidian glass. Lava tubes become shelters for small animals, while hardened flows redirect rivers and create new habitats. Over centuries, erosion carves channels, cliffs, and valleys into volcanic rock, revealing the history of past eruptions and the ongoing transformation of the Earth. Minerals themselves have remarkable properties. Quartz, transparent and durable, forms crystals that can grow for thousands of years. Mica splits into thin sheets, reflecting light and heat in forests and deserts alike. Iron and copper deposits concentrate in certain layers, influencing soil chemistry, plant growth, and the availability of nutrients for animals. Minerals participate in the planet's cycles, eroding from mountains, carried by rivers, and deposited in plains, lakes, and oceans, creating a continuous loop of transformation. Fossils embedded in rock remind us that Earth is both ancient and alive. Ammonites, trilobites, and ancient plants are preserved in limestone, telling stories of seas that once teemed with life. Petrified wood retains the cellular structure of trees that lived millions of years ago. Footprints fossilized in sandstone capture moments of movement, behavior, and interaction frozen in time. Rocks, minerals, and fossils together form a layered narrative, a slow-motion chronicle of evolution, climate, and geological change. The geologic cycle extends to erosion, sedimentation, and metamorphism. Rivers carve valleys, glaciers grind rock, and wind shapes deserts. Sediments accumulate, compact, and over millions of years transform into new rock. Heat and pressure metamorphose limestone into marble, shale into slate, sandstone into quartzite. The Earth recycles itself continuously, a slow, majestic rhythm where destruction and creation are inseparable, and where every grain of sand carries the memory of eons. Even night and darkness cannot pause these processes. Magma continues to flow beneath the crust, minerals slowly crystallize, and tectonic forces press mountains higher. Water erodes stone, soil accumulates, and rivers transport sediments, shaping valleys and deltas. Life interacts with this evolving terrain, rooting in fertile soil, burrowing into soft sediments, and seeking shelter among rocks. Every rock, every crystal, every particle of mineral dust participates in a planetary story, linking deep time to the present, the microscopic to the vast, the destructive to the creative. Rivers, flowing tirelessly across continents, carry the essence of landscapes in their waters. Born from melting snow, rainfall, or springs hidden beneath mountains, each river follows a path shaped by geology, gravity, and time. Mountain streams tumble over rocks, forming cascades and pools, carving valleys slowly with patient persistence. As they descend, rivers widen, collecting tributaries, sediments, and nutrients along the way, shaping fertile plains and supporting life in ways both subtle and profound. Oceans are not the only reservoirs of water. Lakes, both large and small, store fresh water, providing habitats for countless species. Glacial lakes born from the retreat of ice hold water rich in minerals and sediment, their surfaces reflecting skies, mountains, and forests. Volcanic crater lakes form deep basins, often home to unique organisms adapted to unusual chemical compositions. Shallow lakes and ponds teem with life during warm seasons, supporting algae, insects, amphibians, and birds. Even ephemeral pools, filling after rainstorms, sustain short but intense bursts of life, a testament to resilience in fragile environments. Wetlands and marshes act as natural buffers, filtering water, storing nutrients, and protecting against floods. Reeds, sedges, and grasses sway with the wind and water, their roots stabilizing soil and sediment. Microorganisms decompose organic matter, releasing nutrients that sustain aquatic plants and animals. Frogs, fish, birds, and mammals rely on these areas for breeding, feeding, and shelter. Wetlands connect rivers to oceans, creating a continuum of life and energy that sustain entire regions. Glaciers, slow rivers of ice, move imperceptibly yet powerfully across mountains and polar landscapes. They carve valleys, transport rocks, and sculpt fjords over millennia. Meltwater streams feed rivers and lakes, delivering minerals and sediments downstream. Glacial movement, though slow, leaves profound marks. Moraines, drumlins, and glacial till testify to the immense forces shaping the land. Even as they retreat under warming climates, glaciers continue to sustain rivers, wetlands, and life far beyond their icy boundaries. Water is in constant motion, cycling between atmosphere, land, and ocean. Evaporation lifts moisture into clouds, where condensation forms precipitation, returning water to rivers, lakes, and soils. Groundwater flows slowly through soil and rock, emerging as springs, seeps, and aquifers that nourish life unseen. Seasonal variations in rainfall, snowmelt, and temperature create dynamic rhythms, influencing plant growth, animal behavior, and the productivity of ecosystems. Every drop participates in a cycle that links mountains to plains, rivers to oceans, and the microscopic to the macroscopic. Rivers shape not only landscapes, but also civilizations. Floodplains nurture fertile soils, allowing forests, grasslands, and crops to thrive. Deltas distribute sediments across coastal regions, creating estuaries and wetlands rich in biodiversity. Rapids and waterfalls sculpt terrain while providing energy and oxygen for aquatic organisms. Underground rivers carve caves, creating habitats for specialized fauna and storing fresh water for human use. Water, in all its forms, is both a sculptor and sustainer, linking geological processes to biological systems in a continuous, flowing dialogue. Even during the night, rivers continue their quiet work, carrying nutrients, sediments, and life downstream. Lakes mirror the sky, reflecting moonlight and stars, while wetlands hum softly with insect activity and the calls of nocturnal birds. Streams trickle, glaciers melt imperceptibly, and groundwater moves slowly beneath the surface. Every movement of water participates in a global rhythm, nourishing life, sculpting land, and sustaining the cycles that connect the microscopic to the grandest landscapes. Forests, vast and varied, cover significant portions of the Earth, each type shaped by climate, soil, and the interplay of countless organisms. Tropical rainforests, dense and humid, pulse with life at every layer. Towering trees form a canopy that filters sunlight into delicate beams, creating shadows that shift slowly with the movement of the sun. Beneath, a rich understory thrives in muted light, hosting ferns, vines, and shrubs. Every plant, every leaf, participates in cycles of growth, decay, and renewal. In these forests, animals inhabit distinct layers, each adapted to its niche. Monkeys swing through the canopy, birds flit between branches, and insects crawl along leaves and trunks, pollinating flowers and spreading seeds. Predators move silently, stalking prey with patience and skill, while decomposers recycle fallen organic matter into fertile soil. Rainfall nourishes every organism, replenishing rivers and streams, while occasional storms create gaps in the canopy, allowing sunlight to reach the forest floor and trigger bursts of growth. Temperate forests, with their seasonal rhythms, display a different elegance. Deciduous trees shed leaves in autumn, carpeting the ground in vibrant shades that decompose to enrich the soil. In spring, buds swell and bloom, signaling the renewal of life. Birds migrate, insects emerge, and mammals time births to coincide with periods of abundance. Rivers and streams meander through these forests, carrying nutrients and shaping terrain over centuries. The cycle of growth, decay, and renewal follows the pattern of the seasons, creating a rhythm that organisms have adapted to over millennia. The boreal forests, or taiga, stretch across high latitudes, enduring long, harsh winters and brief, intense summers. Conifers dominate these forests, their needle-like leaves adapted to conserve water and survive cold. Mosses and lichens carpet the ground, supporting small mammals, birds, and insects. Snow accumulates in winter, insulating the soil and providing moisture for spring growth. Predators like wolves, lynx, and bears follow the movements of prey through snow-covered landscapes, while rivers and lakes, often frozen for months, regulate the availability of water and nutrients. The boreal forest is a study in resilience, life persisting against the extremes of temperature and light. In every forest, subtle interactions govern life. Trees communicate through chemical signals, warning of pests or disease. Fungi form symbiotic networks with roots, exchanging nutrients and information. Insects pollinate flowers, spread seeds, and regulate populations. Predators and prey engage in a continuous, delicate dance, each influencing the survival of the other. Forests are not static. They breathe, grow, shift, and adapt, their slow transformations shaping climate, hydrology, and biodiversity across the planet. Even at night, forests remain vibrant. Owls glide silently between branches, bats hunt insects in the dim light, and nocturnal mammals forage among leaf litter. Streams and rivers murmur softly, reflecting moonlight through leaves and casting gentle ripples across the ground. Microbial life continues its unseen work, decomposing fallen matter, cycling nutrients, and sustaining the forest from soil to canopy. Each organism, each interaction contributes to an unbroken rhythm of life, a quiet symphony that spans centuries and connects the smallest creatures to the largest trees. Forests influence global systems as well. They regulate climate by absorbing carbon dioxide, producing oxygen, and affecting rainfall patterns. Their roots stabilize soils, preventing erosion, while fallen leaves enrich rivers and wetlands with nutrients. Through their complex web of life, forests link the microscopic to the macroscopic, the fleeting to the enduring, and the living to the non-living. They are repositories of history, memory, and energy, a testament to Earth's capacity for growth, adaptation, and resilience. Oceans, vast and enigmatic, cover more than 70% of the Earth's surface, their depths holding mysteries both ancient and evolving. Sunlight penetrates only the upper layers, creating a warm, illuminated zone where photosynthetic organisms flourish. Phytoplankton drift with currents, tiny yet mighty, converting sunlight into energy and producing oxygen that nourishes the entire planet. Zooplankton feed on them, forming the base of intricate food webs that sustain fish, marine mammals, and seabirds alike. Coral reefs rise like submerged cities, built slowly over millennia by tiny polyps secreting calcium carbonate. These structures shelter thousands of species, from colorful fish to spiny sea urchins, creating ecosystems of astonishing complexity. Corals themselves form symbiotic relationships with algae, exchanging nutrients and energy in delicate balance. Reefs protect coastlines, moderate waves, and contribute to sediment formation, acting as both habitat and barrier, a living testament to the interconnectedness of marine life. Deeper, in the twilight zone, light wanes and life adapts to dim illumination. Fish develop large eyes, bioluminescent organs, and specialized hunting strategies. Predators lurk silently, waiting for the faintest hint of movement. Even in darkness, organisms participate in cycles of feeding, reproduction, and migration. Deep-sea currents carry nutrients from the surface, connecting distant ecosystems, while thermal vents provide oases of life in otherwise barren expanses. Chemosynthetic bacteria thrive near these vents, forming the foundation for unique communities of tube worms, crustaceans, and fish adapted to extreme heat and pressure. Oceans are also in constant motion, their currents circulating water, heat, and nutrients around the globe. The Gulf Stream transports warm water from the tropics to higher latitudes, influencing climate and weather patterns. Upwelling zones bring nutrient-rich waters from the deep, fueling blooms of phytoplankton and supporting abundant fisheries. Even tides, driven by the gravitational pull of the moon and sun, shape coastal ecosystems, creating intertidal zones that host specialized flora and fauna adapted to changing water levels. Marine mammals, from dolphins to whales, navigate vast distances, following prey and seasonal patterns. Whales migrate between polar feeding grounds and tropical breeding areas, their songs traveling across oceans, connecting individuals over hundreds of kilometers. Seals and sea lions haul out onto rocks and beaches, balancing the need for rest, warmth, and reproduction with the constant motion of the sea. Predators, from sharks to orcas, move with precision, attuned to the rhythms of prey, currents, and environmental cues. Even at night, the ocean is alive with activity. Many fish ascend toward the surface under the cover of darkness to feed, while plankton migrate vertically, creating invisible currents that sustain the marine food web. Bioluminescent organisms light the deep with fleeting flashes, a silent dance of survival and communication. Microbes continue to cycle nutrients, decompose organic matter, and sustain life at every level, ensuring that energy moves seamlessly from the smallest forms to the largest creatures of the sea. Oceans influence the entire planet. They regulate climate by storing and transporting heat, absorb carbon dioxide, and produce oxygen through photosynthesis. They sculpt coastlines, shape weather patterns, and support economies and cultures dependent on marine resources. From the surface to the deepest trenches, from sunlit reefs to hydrothermal vents, oceans form a continuous, dynamic network, a rhythm of life that links continents, skies, and all living beings into a single planetary system. Deserts, vast and seemingly empty, are alive with subtle rhythms and adaptations honed over millennia. Sand dunes shift slowly with the wind, sculpting waves and ridges that migrate across the landscape, storing the memory of countless storms and quiet nights. Rocky deserts reveal layers of ancient sediment, hinting at rivers that once flowed, lakes that once shimmered, and climates that have long since changed. Each grain of sand, each stone, carries the imprint of deep time. Life in deserts survives against scarcity. Plants, like cacti and succulents, store water in thick tissues, photosynthesize with minimal light, and reduce evaporation through waxy coatings or spines. Roots delve deep into the soil or spread widely to capture fleeting moisture. Insects, reptiles, and small mammals emerge mostly at night, avoiding the scorching heat of the day. Camouflage, burrowing, and nocturnal activity are essential strategies, allowing life to persist where survival is a delicate balance between energy and water. Adaptations in desert animals are extraordinary. Fennec foxes use oversized ears to dissipate heat while hunting at night. Sidewinder snakes move across sand in unique S-shaped motions, minimizing contact and overheating. Kangaroo rats can metabolize water from seeds alone, thriving where few other mammals survive. Birds, like the sand grouse, carry water in specialized feathers to nourish offspring, a living testament to evolution's ingenuity in extreme environments. Polygons of salt crust, dry lake beds, and ephemeral rivers mark landscapes that transform with rare rains. When rain arrives, deserts awaken. Seeds germinate rapidly, flowers bloom in fleeting bursts of color, and insects emerge to pollinate. Migratory birds may visit for brief seasons, taking advantage of abundant insects or temporary pools. Life is tuned to timing, patience, and the ability to exploit brief opportunities. Even the smallest organisms, bacteria and fungi, respond to moisture, decomposing organic material and supporting microecosystems that vanish as quickly as they appear. Temperature extremes define desert rhythms. Daytime heat can reach staggering levels, while nights become cold and still. Rocks absorb heat, radiating it slowly, influencing microclimates that small animals exploit. Winds sculpt sand into ever-changing landscapes, carry seeds across vast distances, and create sounds in the dunes that humans have likened to singing or whispering. Every movement, every fluctuation of temperature or moisture shapes life and land in subtle, interconnected ways. Deserts are not isolated. They interact with surrounding ecosystems. Mountain ranges capture rain, creating rivers that sustain oases and valleys. Dust carried by wind fertilizes distant soils, connecting deserts to forests, grasslands, and oceans. Animals migrate through deserts, linking ecosystems in a continuous web of energy and life. Even in seeming emptiness, deserts pulse with survival, adaptation, and quiet persistence, revealing the resilience and creativity of life on Earth. At night, deserts transform. The air cools, stars emerge with clarity unbroken by clouds, and nocturnal life begins its silent dance. Rodents forage among dunes, reptiles hunt small insects, and predators patrol territories with patience. The wind whispers across sands, carrying scents and signals, while microbes and fungi continue their unseen work, breaking down organic material and cycling nutrients. The desert's rhythm is subtle but constant, a reminder that life endures even in the harshest, most extreme environments. Beneath the surface, hidden from the sun, lie caverns and tunnels carved by time, water, and mineral-rich rock. Karst landscapes form where water dissolves limestone or dolomite, creating sinkholes, fissures, and vast underground chambers. Rivers run silently through these labyrinths, sculpting passages over millennia, shaping ceilings and walls with delicate precision. Stalactites hang like frozen icicles from cavern ceilings, while stalagmites rise from the floor, sometimes joining in columns that tell the story of centuries. Each drip of mineral-laden water adds to this slow construction, a patient chronicle of Earth's deep history. Caves host unique ecosystems, often isolated for millions of years. Troglobites, creatures adapted to eternal darkness, lack pigment and eyesight, relying on touch, vibration, and chemical signals to navigate. Blind fish glide through subterranean rivers, while cave insects explore walls and floors, feeding on detritus or microbial mats. Bats roost in chambers, their nocturnal flights connecting underground and surface ecosystems, transporting nutrients through guano that sustain other organisms. Even microbes, invisible yet prolific, cycle nutrients, decompose matter, and support life in these hidden worlds. Water is a sculptor in caves, flowing gently or rushing with power. Underground rivers carve deep channels, creating pools, rapids, and siphons. Mineral deposits precipitate from dripping water, forming crystalline structures of astonishing complexity. Flowstones glisten like frozen waterfalls, while delicate soda straws extend downward, fragile and perfect in form. The movement of water, slow and patient, is a reminder that geological time operates on scales far beyond human perception. Caves and karst systems interact with the surface world. Rainwater enters through sinkholes and fissures, dissolving rock and replenishing aquifers. Surface rivers may vanish into underground channels, only to re-emerge elsewhere as springs. Nutrients, sediments, and even organisms travel between realms, linking hidden ecosystems to forests, plains, and wetlands above. Every cave is both a sanctuary and a conduit, a quiet participant in the broader story of Earth's hydrology, geology, and life. Temperature and atmosphere in caves create unique conditions. Constant cool temperatures preserve delicate formations and regulate microbial and animal activity. Humidity fosters mosses, fungi, and microbial colonies that thrive where surface conditions would be hostile. Even air currents influence life, carrying spores, scents, and signals that allow creatures to locate food, mates, and shelter. Darkness, while absolute, is not empty. It is filled with the presence of organisms finely tuned to survive without sunlight. Human exploration of caves has revealed their beauty and fragility. Cave paintings, stalactite formations, and mineral crystals offer insight into the interplay of life and geology over millennia. Yet these environments remain delicate, easily altered by light, touch, and contamination. Their slow rhythms, imperceptible yet continuous, remind us that time beneath the earth flows differently than above, measured not in days or years, but in centuries and millennia. Night above the ground does not silence caves. It merely contrasts with the eternal darkness within. Water continues its patient sculpting. Microbes cycle nutrients. Bats and other animals carry on their routines. Every drop of water, every movement of air, every touch of life within these caverns contributes to the long, unbroken rhythm of Earth's processes. Caves are quiet yet alive, a hidden world that mirrors the surface in complexity, persistence, and adaptation. In the far reaches of the planet, where the sun barely rises for months, ice dominates the landscape. Glaciers creep slowly down mountains. Rivers of frozen water moving at the pace of centuries, sculpting valleys, fjords, and cliffs with immense patience. Each glacier is a time capsule, storing snow, air bubbles, and sediments that reveal the history of climate, precipitation, and the very atmosphere of Earth over millennia. The ice is both fragile and enduring, advancing and retreating with seasonal and climatic shifts, a testament to the planet's deep, slow rhythms. Icebergs, calved from glaciers into oceans, drift silently with currents, carrying fresh water and minerals across vast distances. Their surfaces reflect the light in 1,000 shades of blue and white, while beneath the waves, unseen mass supports unique ecosystems. Krill and plankton thrive around icebergs, feeding fish and, in turn, larger predators. Polar bears, seals, penguins, and other animals rely on these icy landscapes for hunting, breeding, and shelter, each species finely tuned to the harsh yet bountiful polar environment. Snow itself is a sculptor of the land. Seasonal snowfall blankets tundras, mountains, and forests, insulating soil and vegetation against extreme cold, regulating moisture, and providing a slow-release reservoir for rivers and streams. Wind shapes snow into dunes and cornices, while avalanches remind us of nature's power and unpredictability. Even as snow melts and refreezes, it interacts with the landscape, eroding rock, nourishing soil, and sustaining aquatic ecosystems far from its origin. Life in these extremes is extraordinary in its resilience. Arctic foxes grow thick fur that changes color with the seasons, camouflaging them in snow and tundra. Polar bears, masters of the ice, hunt seals on frozen seas, their bodies adapted to conserve heat and energy. Penguins huddle for warmth while krill swarm beneath the ice, forming the foundation of marine food webs that support whales, seabirds, and fish. Microbes survive within ice, metabolizing slowly yet persistently, showing that even in apparent stillness, life endures. Permafrost, frozen ground that can persist for thousands of years, preserves ancient organisms, plant material, and even viruses. As it thaws, it releases nutrients and carbon, influencing both local ecosystems and global climate. Ice cores extracted from polar regions reveal layers of history, each stratum recording volcanic eruptions, atmospheric composition, and temperature fluctuations, offering a window into the Earth's deep past. Even in the long polar night, life continues in subtle ways. Microorganisms metabolize in the snow and ice. Animals navigate the frozen terrain for survival, and glaciers inch forward imperceptibly. The ocean beneath the ice hums with activity. Currents circulate nutrients, and deep-sea life thrives in dark, cold waters. Ice and snow are not barren. They are vibrant participants in planetary cycles, shaping climates, ecosystems, and the distribution of life across the globe. Poles influence the entire planet. Glaciers feed rivers that sustain distant forests and plains. Ice reflects sunlight, regulating global temperatures, while melting ice contributes to rising sea levels that reshape coastlines. Seasonal cycles of freeze and thaw drive migrations, breeding, and survival strategies for countless species. From the microscopic algae within ice to the largest polar predators, life adapts, persists, and thrives, following rhythms that are slow, subtle, and profound. Above the Earth, the sky stretches infinitely, a vast canvas of air, light, and motion. Clouds drift slowly or gather in dense formations, carrying water across continents, shaping weather, and reflecting the sun in shades from brilliant white to muted gray. They form through the condensation of water vapor, tiny droplets or ice crystals suspended in the atmosphere, moving with currents invisible to the eye but powerful in their effect. Cirrus clouds trace the winds high above, delicate and feathery, while cumulus clouds puff and swell, hinting at energy gathering within. Wind, the invisible sculptor of the atmosphere, flows across mountains, plains, and oceans. It carries seeds, pollen, and moisture, shaping climates and ecosystems. Gentle breezes stir forests, ripple rivers, and bring the scent of distant lands, while powerful gusts shape dunes, bend trees, and carve rock formations. In storms, wind reaches its full force, becoming a reminder of nature's power, a continuous flow of energy linking the sun's heat, the Earth's rotation, and the differences in air pressure across the globe. Thunderstorms gather slowly, forming clouds dense with electricity. Lightning arcs across the sky, illuminating the landscape in brief, brilliant flashes, and thunder rolls in deep, resonant waves. These storms release rain that nourishes soil and life, redistributing water across land, while wind and energy shape the environment in ways both subtle and dramatic. Even after storms pass, the atmosphere retains memory. Humidity, temperature, and pressure influence the formation of new clouds, new storms, new cycles of precipitation. Cyclones and hurricanes, immense rotating systems, are born from the ocean's warmth and the atmosphere's energy. They move with the rotation of the planet, drawing moisture from the sea, releasing it in torrents over land. Winds swirl, rains pour, and pressure systems shift, affecting ecosystems, climates, and human lives. Each system, though destructive, is a part of the Earth's rhythm, redistributing heat, nutrients, and water across the globe, balancing energy in ways that maintain life over long timescales. Even gentle rain participates in the planet's cycles. Drops fall on forests, rivers, deserts, and cities, infiltrating soil, replenishing aquifers, and sustaining plants. Fog drifts slowly, enveloping valleys and mountains in soft, cool blankets. Snow, hail, and sleet interact with temperature and wind, sculpting landscapes and influencing the survival strategies of plants and animals. Atmospheric phenomena, from auroras in polar skies to halos around the sun, remind us that the air above is not empty. It is alive with particles, light, energy, and motion. At night, the sky transforms. Stars emerge, constellations trace familiar paths, and the moon reflects sunlight onto oceans, forests, and deserts. Winds calm or whisper, clouds drift silently, and nocturnal animals sense subtle changes in pressure and humidity. Lightning may flicker in distant storms, unseen but felt in the rhythm of distant thunder. The atmosphere, in constant motion, connects the earth below with the cosmos above, maintaining cycles of water, energy, and life across continents and oceans. Atmospheric processes link intimately with all Earth systems. Clouds bring water to forests, deserts, and mountains. Wind transports seeds and dust, fertilizing soils and influencing ecosystems far from their origin. Storms redistribute energy, shaping climates and geological processes, while the atmosphere itself shields life from harmful radiation, moderates temperature, and provides oxygen essential for survival. Sky and land, wind and water, cloud and river, they are all part of a continuous living network, a symphony of motion and energy that sustains the Earth. Life on Earth moves in intricate patterns, a network of connections that spans continents, oceans, and skies. Animals migrate over vast distances, following seasonal rhythms, food availability, and breeding cycles. Monarch butterflies traverse thousands of kilometers across North America, navigating by the sun and magnetic cues, each generation completing part of the journey while the memory of routes persists in instinct. Birds, from tiny songbirds to massive albatrosses, ride air currents, crossing oceans and deserts, mountain ranges and valleys in search of sustenance and safety. Mammals, too, migrate, some in massive herds. Wildebeests follow ancient paths across African savannas, guided by the rains, water sources, and the instinct of survival. Caribou roam tundras and boreal forests, enduring harsh winters and spring thaws, their movements shaping vegetation patterns and predator-prey dynamics. Even marine mammals migrate across oceans, whales following plankton blooms, dolphins moving with schools of fish, seals traveling between breeding grounds and feeding zones. Every journey is a story of energy, survival, and connection. Plants, though rooted, also participate in global rhythms. Seeds disperse via wind, water, and animals, colonizing new areas and maintaining genetic diversity. Some plants have evolved to thrive in extreme environments, deserts, alpine zones, Arctic tundras, developing adaptations to conserve water, endure cold, or survive prolonged darkness. Forests, grasslands, wetlands, and deserts are shaped by these movements, forming dynamic mosaics of life across continents. Ecosystems are complex networks of interdependence. Predators regulate prey populations, herbivores influence vegetation structure, and decomposers recycle nutrients back into the soil. Pollinators, fungi, and microorganisms maintain cycles invisible to the naked eye, yet essential for life. Each organism, from the smallest bacterium to the largest whale, plays a role in sustaining the balance, a continuous flow of energy, matter, and information that links the microcosm to the macrocosm. Evolution, slow yet persistent, has sculpted life into forms adapted to specific niches. Camouflage, mimicry, nocturnal behavior, hibernation, and migration are all strategies honed over millennia. Life responds to climate, geography, and competition, constantly adjusting to maintain survival. Adaptations are both subtle and profound. The elongated neck of a giraffe, the insulated fur of Arctic foxes, the bioluminescence of deep-sea fish all reflect nature's careful shaping of form and function over time. Even in the night, ecosystems continue their work. Nocturnal predators hunt, insects forage, and microorganisms decompose fallen matter. In oceans, fish rise to feed, plankton drift, and currents circulate nutrients. In forests, owls glide silently, bats hunt, and small mammals scurry among leaf litter. Life never truly rests. It moves in rhythms aligned with light, temperature, water, and energy, forming a continuous, interconnected dance that spans the entire globe. Humans, too, are part of this network, consciously or unconsciously shaping ecosystems. Agriculture, forestry, urbanization, and conservation influence the distribution of species, the health of habitats, and the flows of energy and matter. Yet nature persists, often adapting to human presence, reclaiming abandoned fields, colonizing urban spaces, and maintaining cycles of regeneration. Even in altered landscapes, life finds ways to continue, demonstrating resilience, persistence, and adaptability. The global tapestry of life is a meditation in motion. Animals migrate, plants grow and reproduce, rivers flow, winds blow, and microorganisms cycle nutrients. Each organism, each interaction, contributes to the greater whole. Life on Earth is not a static tableau. It is a dynamic, breathing network, evolving continuously, responding to change, and maintaining balance. Observing it, even in thought, invites calm, wonder, and a quiet sense of connection to the rhythms of our planet. Beneath our feet, the Earth's crust moves in slow, powerful rhythms, shaping landscapes over millions of years. Tectonic plates drift, collide, and separate, driving the formation of mountains, valleys, and ocean basins. These movements are imperceptible in a human lifetime, yet they carry the weight of deep time, transforming continents, creating ranges that soar into clouds, and carving trenches that descend into darkness. Volcanoes emerge where molten rock rises to the surface, building cones, lava flows, and calderas over centuries. Magma erupts in fire and ash, reshaping terrain, enriching soils, and creating new landforms. Each eruption is both destructive and creative, a demonstration of Earth's dynamic energy. Lava cools slowly, forming basalt, pumice, and obsidian, while gases and ash enter the atmosphere, influencing climate and ecosystems far beyond the eruption site. Earthquakes ripple through the crust when stress exceeds the strength of rocks. Seismic waves travel outward, shaking landscapes, rearranging rivers, and triggering landslides. Though sudden and dramatic, earthquakes are part of the ongoing negotiation between plates, a reminder that the solid ground beneath us is alive with movement and energy. Over millennia, repeated quakes uplift mountains, fracture valleys, and expose minerals hidden deep within the earth. Erosion, gentle yet persistent, shapes landscapes in contrast to tectonic violence. Wind, water, ice, and gravity
wear down mountains, carve valleys, and smooth riverbeds. Rivers transport sediments across continents, forming deltas and floodplains, while glaciers grind rock into fine particles, redistributing them over vast distances. Coastal waves sculpt cliffs, beaches, and sandbars, while desert winds shift dunes in patterns that change daily. Erosion is the patient artist of Earth, slowly transforming landscapes in ways often imperceptible to human eyes.
Gorges, canyons, and caves bear witness to the interplay of uplift and erosion. Rivers, persistent and patient, cut through rock over millions of years, forming deep channels, rapids, and waterfalls. Stalactites and stalagmites form in caverns as water percolates through limestone, depositing minerals that accumulate over centuries. Each layer of rock, each striation, tells a story of sedimentation, compression, and the forces that shape the surface of the planet. Geological processes are interconnected with life. Volcanic soils nurture forests, grasslands, and agricultural fields. Earthquakes and landslides create habitats for new species, while rivers and floods disperse nutrients that sustain ecosystems. Mountains influence weather, precipitation, and the distribution of flora and fauna. Glaciers carve valleys that later host rivers and forests, demonstrating that the movement of rock and ice underlies the patterns of life we observe above. Even in the night, the Earth continues its transformation. Tectonic plates shift imperceptibly, magma moves within volcanic chambers, rivers continue to flow, and wind sculpts dunes and cliffs. Life, rooted in soil, water, and air, responds to these changes, adapting and evolving over generations. The planet's geology is a slow, continuous process, a deep pulse beneath our perception, reminding us that the world we inhabit is alive, dynamic, and ever-changing. Mountains rise and fall, valleys deepen, volcanoes sleep and awaken. Rivers carve their paths, and winds whisper across landscapes. These processes unfold over millennia, yet their impact is profound. They connect the microscopic to the macroscopic, the living to the non-living, and the present to the distant past. Observing these rhythms, even in thought, invites calm, wonder, and a quiet sense of connection to the deep time story of Earth. Rivers flow like veins across the Earth, carrying water from mountains to seas, shaping landscapes and sustaining life along their paths. Each river is unique, with its own rhythm, chemistry, and ecology. Headwaters begin as melting snow or springs, trickling gently over rocks, gathering strength and speed as tributaries join the flow. The sound of running water is constant, yet ever-changing, a melody composed of gravity, geology, and the pulse of the planet. Lakes, quiet and reflective, collect water in depressions carved by glaciers, tectonics, or erosion. Their surfaces mirror the sky, clouds, and surrounding land, while beneath, layers of stratified water host diverse communities. Algae drift in sunlight, fish navigate mid-water, and invertebrates crawl along sediment, forming a complex network of life. Some lakes are ancient, holding records of climate, vegetation, and life over thousands of years, a liquid chronicle of Earth's history. Wetlands and swamps, often overlooked, are essential hubs of biodiversity. They filter water, store carbon, and provide breeding grounds for amphibians, insects, birds, and mammals. Reeds and sedges grow densely, stabilizing soil and moderating floods, while microorganisms cycle nutrients and decompose organic matter. Seasonal changes bring dynamic transformations. Flooding, drying, and regrowth create rhythms that species have adapted to over millennia. Waterfalls, majestic and powerful, mark points where rivers encounter cliffs, resistant rock, or tectonic uplift. Water plunges with force, sculpting plunge pools, eroding bedrock, and generating mist that nourishes nearby plants. Spray fosters mosses and ferns, creating lush microhabitats in otherwise rugged landscapes. The constant motion of water at falls is both dramatic and meditative, a reminder of the interplay between energy, erosion, and life. Rivers and lakes interact with surrounding ecosystems in subtle yet profound ways. Fish migrate upstream to spawn, carrying nutrients and energy across landscapes. Birds and mammals rely on freshwater sources for survival. Floods deposit sediments that enrich soils, enabling forests and grasslands to thrive. Aquatic insects emerge to pollinate plants or feed terrestrial species, demonstrating the interconnection between water and land. Even small streams, ephemeral after rainfall, contribute to this continuous exchange, sustaining microhabitats invisible from a distance. Water systems are dynamic, responding to climate, seasons, and geological processes. Snowmelt swells rivers in spring, while drought reduces flow in summer. Earthquakes or landslides can redirect channels, creating new habitats. Human interventions, such as dams and canals, reshape hydrology, yet rivers often reclaim their courses over time, demonstrating resilience and persistence. The flow of water is both predictable and surprising, a rhythm that maintains life and carves the world simultaneously. Even at night, water systems are alive. Fish feed under the cover of darkness, amphibians vocalize, and insects drift along currents. Microbes continue their hidden work, decomposing matter and cycling nutrients. Water does not rest, it flows, evaporates, condenses, and returns in endless cycles, connecting oceans, lakes, rivers, and the atmosphere. Life within and around water follows these rhythms, a continuous dance of energy, adaptation, and survival. Observing rivers, lakes, wetlands, and waterfalls invites a sense of calm and perspective. The movement of water links distant ecosystems, sustains life in myriad forms, and reflects the sky above. Each ripple, wave, and current is part of a larger story, a meditation on persistence, change, and interconnectedness. Water is both gentle and powerful, constant and ever-changing, a reminder that life, like rivers, flows through time with patience and grace. Forests stretch across continents like living blankets, covering hills, valleys, and plains in green. Each forest is a universe of its own, a multi-layered structure where life thrives from the soil to the canopy. Trees grow slowly, year after year, their rings recording seasons, droughts, and the passage of time. Roots descend deep into the earth, anchoring life and drawing nutrients and water, while leaves reach skyward, capturing sunlight for photosynthesis, the quiet engine of energy that sustains countless organisms. In tropical rainforests, layers rise like terraces of life. The emergent layer reaches above all, where massive trees pierce the sky, hosting birds, insects, and even mammals among their high branches. Below, the canopy forms a dense roof, sheltering an astonishing diversity of life. Epiphytes cling to branches, lianas twist around trunks, and countless animals navigate the intertwined architecture. The understory remains shaded and humid, home to smaller trees, shrubs, and plants adapted to low light, while the forest floor, dim and quiet, is rich with decomposing matter, fungi, and soil organisms that recycle nutrients and sustain the forest's continued growth. Temperate forests present a different rhythm. Seasons mark the cycle of life. Spring brings flowering and growth. Summer expands the canopy. Autumn colors the leaves in red and gold, and winter sends the forest into a quiet rest. Trees lose their leaves, conserving energy and water, while animals adapt by hibernating, migrating, or changing behavior. The soil, enriched by fallen leaves, feeds the next cycle of growth, sustaining an intricate web of life from the smallest microbes to apex predators. Boreal forests, stretching across the northern hemisphere, endure cold and long winters. Conifers dominate, with needles designed to withstand snow and conserve water. The rhythm of life is slow, each year bringing modest growth, but life is persistent. Moose roam silently among the pines, wolves track their prey, and birds time their migrations to the brief but productive summers. Even in apparent stillness, ecosystems function, quietly cycling nutrients and energy beneath layers of snow and ice. Forests are not isolated. They interact with rivers, winds, and mountains. Water cycles through them, sustaining plants and animals while regulating climate and humidity. Winds carry seeds and pollen, connecting distant forests and enabling genetic diversity. Each forest is a dynamic network, resilient yet sensitive, responding to changes slowly but continuously, a living testament to adaptation and persistence. The diversity of plants is staggering. From cowering trees to delicate mosses, from flowering orchids to carnivorous plants, each species has evolved strategies to survive, compete, and reproduce. Roots explore soil for water and nutrients, leaves capture sunlight, flowers attract pollinators, and seeds disperse through wind, water, or animals. This continuous exchange links plants to animals, fungi, and microorganisms in a complex symphony of life, where every interaction matters and contributes to the whole. Even at night, forests are alive. Nocturnal animals emerge from hiding, insects hum and crawl, owls hunt, and the forest floor stirs with small mammals and amphibians. Microbes continue decomposing matter, releasing nutrients that will sustain future growth. The quiet of night is deceptive. It is a time of subtle activity, a hidden pulse of life that persists beneath the surface. Observing a forest, even in thought, invites calm and reflection. The layered structure, slow growth, and continuous cycles remind us of the patience of nature, the intricate web of interdependence, and the persistence of life across time. Forests, in all their forms and climates, are both refuge and laboratory, a living demonstration of Earth's resilience and the beauty of sustained, interconnected life. Oceans cover more than 70% of the planet, vast expanses of water that move and breathe with currents, tides, and waves. From the sunlit surface to the darkest trenches, oceans host life in unimaginable abundance and diversity. Each wave that reaches a shore carries energy, sediments, and organisms, linking continents and shaping climates. The rhythm of tides, guided by the gravitational pull of the moon and sun, orchestrates a continuous, predictable dance of water across the globe. Sunlight penetrates only the upper layers, creating a vibrant zone where photosynthetic life thrives. Phytoplankton drift in this light, microscopic yet fundamental, capturing energy from the sun and forming the base of marine food webs. They support zooplankton, small fish, and ultimately the largest creatures on Earth. Dolphins, whales, and sharks move through these layers, hunting, navigating, and migrating, their lives synchronized with the ebb and flow of currents and the seasonal productivity of the oceans. Coral reefs emerge as colorful oases in shallow waters, complex architectures built over millennia by tiny polyps. Reefs host astonishing diversity. Fish of every shape and color, crustaceans, mollusks, and algae interact in delicate balances. Corals secrete calcium carbonate,
forming structures that withstand waves and storms, while providing shelter and food for countless species. Even slight changes in temperature, acidity, or nutrients can ripple through these ecosystems, showing the fragility and interconnectedness of life beneath the waves. Oceans are in constant motion. Surface currents, driven by wind, redistribute heat, influencing climate and weather patterns across continents. Deep currents circulate nutrients and oxygen, sustaining life at all depths. Waves and tides shape coastlines, eroding cliffs, forming beaches, and depositing sediments. Even small ripples carry energy, transporting plankton, seeds, and organic matter across thousands of kilometers. The oceans are alive with motion, a continuous, flowing network connecting distant ecosystems. Marine life migrates across vast distances. Whales follow plankton blooms, salmon return to birth rivers, sea turtles traverse entire oceans. Birds, too, depend on the ocean's abundance, diving for fish or scavenging along coasts. These migrations are timed with seasons, currents, and the availability of food, forming an intricate temporal and spatial web of interdependence that spans the globe. Oceans interact intimately with the atmosphere. Evaporation from their surfaces drives rainfall, feeding rivers, forests, and grasslands. Carbon is absorbed, helping regulate the planet's temperature. Storms gather energy from warm waters, hurricanes and typhoons carrying both power and nourishment across seas. Even in apparent stillness, the ocean hums with currents, waves, and life, a living entity that shapes and sustains the planet. Observing oceans invite calm and awe. The endless horizon, the sound of waves, the rhythm of tides, and the hidden life beneath the surface reflect persistence, interconnectedness, and balance. Oceans remind us that life extends beyond visible boundaries, linking continents, climates, and ecosystems in an unbroken flowing network that sustains the Earth and all who inhabit it. Night falls softly across the Earth, and a different rhythm emerges. Nocturnal animals awaken, moving quietly through forests, deserts, wetlands, and oceans. Owls glide silently, their wings soft as shadow, hunting rodents and insects. Bats leave their roosts, scanning the night with echoes and returning to hidden perches after feeding. Small mammals scurry across leaf litter, foraging in the cool air, while predators like foxes or owls take advantage of darkness to hunt. Insects hum and flicker through the night. Fireflies light the air with rhythmic pulses, signaling mates in patterns older than human memory. Moths drift toward sources of light, unaware of the dangers around them. Crickets and cicadas create a soft symphony, marking time and space with their rhythmic songs. Even in the tiniest movements, life is active, persistent, and interconnected, responding to temperature, moisture, and moonlight. Microorganisms, invisible to the naked eye, continue their work. Soil microbes decompose organic matter, cycling nutrients that will sustain plants in the morning. Aquatic bacteria process sediments and plankton in rivers, lakes, and oceans. These processes, silent and hidden, are essential for the health of every ecosystem, demonstrating that life never truly rests, even when darkness prevails. Oceans, too, shift their rhythms at night. Some fish ascend toward the surface to feed under moonlight, while others descend to avoid predators. Phytoplankton may glow faintly, bioluminescent organisms sparkle in the deep, and waves continue their eternal motion. The night ocean is a world both familiar and alien, reflecting the vast, persistent energy of life in darkness. Night is not only a time of activity, but also of subtle communication,
Animals mark territories, call to mates, and navigate using scent, sound, and the faintest hints of light. Trees and plants respond to darkness through circadian rhythms, closing leaves, slowing photosynthesis, and conserving energy. Even rocks and soil participate, cooling, contracting, and affecting moisture and chemical cycles. The Earth breathes at night in quiet, imperceptible pulses, a reminder of the continuity of life. Observing nightlife in thought brings calm and introspection. Darkness is not emptiness, it is full of movement, purpose, and connection. Each organism, from the smallest microbe to the largest predator, participates in a dance that sustains ecosystems, cycles nutrients, and preserves balance. The night teaches patience, persistence, and the intricate interdependence of all life on Earth. As night deepens across the planet, a quiet harmony settles over Earth. Mountains, rivers, oceans, forests, and deserts rest and move in rhythm, their cycles intertwining with life in subtle, endless patterns. The air is still, yet alive with whispers of wind through trees, the distant rush of water over rocks, and the gentle hum of nocturnal life. Every element, from the smallest microbe to the tallest mountain, participates in this symphony of connection. Even the stars above are part of the story. They reflect sunlight across oceans, cast shadows in forests, and guide migratory birds and insects through the darkness. The moon's glow touches mountains and waters alike, influencing tides, nocturnal behavior, and the gentle unfolding of night. The planet exists in balance, suspended between movement and stillness, creation and erosion, light and dark. Every ecosystem we have explored, from the frozen expanses of polar ice to the teeming life of coral reefs, from deserts' silent sands to the layered complexity of tropical forests, demonstrates the planet's resilience and adaptability. Life finds a way to flourish, to migrate, to adapt, to survive, and to thrive. Even in apparent solitude, each organism is part of an intricate network, a web of dependence and interaction that stretches across continents and oceans. Now, as we reflect on rivers that carve valleys, glaciers that sculpt mountains, and winds that shape deserts, it is clear that Earth itself is alive, breathing slowly in geological and ecological rhythms. Volcanic eruptions and earthquakes, storms and floods are not chaos, but expressions of the planet's ongoing evolution. Water flows, plants grow, animals migrate, and night falls, all part of the ceaseless pulse of life. In the stillness of night, consider the connections that sustain all existence. The soil under a tree, enriched by decomposed leaves, feeds roots that reach deep and wide. Insects pollinate flowers, enabling fruit and seed to sustain countless creatures. Predators hunt, prey evades, and every action reverberates through the ecosystem. The Earth's systems are not separate, they are woven together, a continuous tapestry of energy, matter, and life. As you listen, let your thoughts drift gently from mountains to oceans, from forests to deserts, from day into night. Imagine the slow growth of trees, the patient erosion of rock, the gentle flow of rivers, and the quiet migrations of animals. Feel the pulse of the planet beneath your feet, beneath every wave, beneath the soil, and in the air around you. The Earth moves, and yet it rests, a balance of motion and stillness, of energy and calm. In this moment, let your mind float with the rhythms of Earth. Imagine the whispering of leaves, the distant call of a night bird, the shimmer of moonlight on water, and the faint glimmer of stars reflected in oceans and lakes. Each element, each process, each life form contributes to a vast, enduring story, a story of patience, resilience, and interconnectedness. Sleep gently, carried by the rhythms of the planet. Mountains rise and fall slowly over millennia. Rivers flow endlessly. Oceans breathe with tides, and life persists through cycles of growth and decay. Night envelops all, a quiet, protective blanket. Let yourself merge with the slow pulse of the earth, drifting alongside the ceaseless, peaceful, and patient rhythms of the world you inhabit. The earth is vast, life is persistent, time is eternal, and in the quiet of night, as you close your eyes, let all that you have imagined settle into a gentle calm. Breathe once more, softly, slowly, and let the planet's harmony guide you into sleep.